Hello everyone, this is a very important video. My name is Daryl Guberman. I'm the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, quality consulting from here in Connecticut. Today, this video is about Boeing's old friend inside Biden's Justice Department. QA expert Daryl Guberman guts this like a fish, and it is. These tight alliances, it's not just the Justice Department, but it's who they're affiliated with. And here he is. This is a gentleman here. He used to sit at Boeing. He's now, I think, if I remember correctly, a lobbyist, and he was working with the Bush administration. And now both him and David Calhoun were seen on the register at the White House going to these dinners by Joe Biden. Isn't that a tender moment? I put out a video the other day concerning that the DOJ's close alliance with the American National Standards Institute, the American National Crediting Board, and this is going to come out right today, and you're going to see how disgusting it is. Boeing will ultimately get a slap on the wrist. I'm sure they're talking about prosecution, but they have too many people there at the DOJ, too many affiliations with ANSI and ANAB and a lot of other things. Let me continue. ANSI is the American National Standards Institute, is a private, not-for-profit, non-governmental corporation that has federal agencies and corporations on board. Real quick, 2015, Randy Doherty, then the Vice President of ANAB, Chairman of the IF, and also on the 990 tax firm of the IF, which is incorporated in Delaware. The IF, you're going to find out, was formulated by the American National Standards Institute, and ANSI and ANAB are underwriters for the IF and its sister organization in Australia, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. He handed over leadership to this communist Chinese national, Zhao Jinwu, who was also at the time the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services in Beijing, China. And they certified the laboratory that released the COVID virus in Wuhan, China, the Bio-Level 4 lab. He's mandated by his country of origin to take anybody's data, government and agencies, etc., or corporations, and by the China National Intelligence Law, Article number 7, ANSI took over complete control over ANAB in 2018. You have federal agencies and corporations, only a sample. Let's go directly right into Boeing. Boeing. And show you the alliance. You have Boeing over here that sits on ANSI's board, right over by federal agencies. You're going to find out, like the FAA, and also like the Department of Justice, and like the DOD, etc. In 2002, they put out a supplier bulletin that stated that if you send in your AS9100 certificate, only accredited by ANSI ANAB, just send in your certificate, send your parts, and we don't have to inspect anything, which means this, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to tell you, and business owners, which means this. A lot of people within the business community gets the blueprint from Boeing and says, it's going to be too much to manufacture here. I'm going to send it someplace else. In country, out country, they'll send it someplace else. The part will come back. They will stamp it. Of course, Boeing has on file their AS9100 accredited by ANSI ANAB, and they just stamp it as if they manufactured it themselves. As I told you, they had the FAA on board right over by Boeing, and in 2009, Boeing was made an FAA regulator, which means that they did not, and I repeat, they did not have to tell the FAA about the MCAS system. They did not have to tell them about new aerospace designs like the 777 and 787. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, in 2024, in April, I was down there to support Sam Salihpour, the whistleblower, about the 777, 78, because he's correct. There's design issues. It's been inherent with those aircraft because rather than Boeing grabbing that special designation as FAA regulator, they grabbed and they cut corners, and we have all the data. On their supplier portal, they also call out ANSI ANAB. Boeing does. On ANAB's board, ANSI ANAB's board, they sit there, they can grant, suspend, and withdraw a certification, take away the certification because of quality issues. Well, it looks like they never did. They sit over by 7 different registration companies that utilize the ANAB logo. There is no confidence in the integrity of quality that these ISO and AS9100 certifications that are issued by ANAB accredited registrars can give the general public who are sitting on those airplanes. Now we come up with the Department of Justice. You have the DOJ, and as I've showed you very simply here, that Boeing sits right over by the DOJ. So you find anything wrong with that? In fact, here's Merrick Garland. Mr. Garland, What do you think about that? That Boeing sits very close to you on ANSY's board. You have anything wrong with that? Ladies and gentlemen, please put a comment down below. What do you think that the DOJ sits on the same board as Boeing? The FAA sits on the same board as Boeing. Do you think there's something wrong with that? 203-556-1493 or Daryl, Daryl, TQRS at yahoo.com. I thank you, and I do this to protect your ass when you're sitting on that plane. It's not good. Thank you.